Hello guys, I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, it's been a story that's out of Northwest Pennsylvania that occurred this week. Well, earlier in the week, and I waited around till some more details came out about the story before I did the initial covering of the story in video form. Story I'm talking about is about the Amish woman, 26-year-old, what's her name, Rebecca Byler of North Crawford County, who was an Amish woman, 6 months pregnant, guys, who tragically lost her life as someone broke in her house, forced herself in her house, and this woman was shot in the head, and then, her throat was cut as details came out. And as horrific as this case is, and this crime, what's even more horrific is the person that did it. This guy right here is 52-year-old Shawn Cranston of Corey, Pennsylvania. He is the grandfather of a child that Miss Byler and her husband adopted some time back. More details are coming out, and theories and all this stuff are going off, and you'll be hearing them in the news. Supposedly they got the motive of this guy was trying to get back his adopted grandson from these people. I'll play this article, and I'll speak about what's known, what's on the surface right now. I mean, till deeper things, come out. Take a look.
5 days after a pregnant Amish woman is murdered in her home, her alleged killer is behind bars. Jennifer Mobilia was the first to report this murder. She joins us live in Corey. Jen.
Yeah, Brianna, a woman that claims to be the suspect's daughter spoke to me earlier today. She believes that this murder was a case of mistaken identity. Now, we do want to warn you that some of the new details we are learning tonight are very disturbing. This is the man state police say killed 23-year-old Rebecca Byler. He's 52-year-old Shawn Cranston from Corey. He was arrested Friday night outside the Dollar General store right next to his home.
It was crazy. I've never seen so much law enforcement at once. Never once.
According to court paperwork, Cranston allegedly broke into Byler's home in Sparta Township Monday, shot her in the head, and slashed her throat. As you can see, crime scene tape still surrounds Cranston's home here in Corey on Main Street. I spoke with a woman who says Cranston was her foster dad growing up. That woman is in her 20s now and has children of her own, but says Cranston is the only father she has ever known. She was visibly upset and did not want to be on camera.
Like, I could never picture my dad being that cold and heartless of a monster. Never in a million years.
The morning of the murder, neighbors reported seeing a red Jeep in Byler's driveway. Friday night, a red Jeep was towed from Cranston's home.
As far as I know, he just wanted his grandson back.
Cranston's daughter believes the murder was a case of mistaken identity. She says the Amish couple that lived in Byler's home a few years ago adopted his grandson.
Supposedly, she started yelling at him coming in, and that's when, boom, all it took, and it's just horrifying to think that.
Cranston has been charged with criminal homicide of an unborn child, burglary, and criminal trespass. And Cranston remains behind bars tonight in the Crawford County Jail. I can tell you earlier today, we went back and spoke to neighbors near Byler's home. And while the community is still in mourning over Rebecca's death, there's definitely a sigh of relief that her alleged killer is behind bars tonight.
All right, guys, that's the story of what happened to Miss Rebecca Byler, age 26. May she rest in peace. I'm going to tell you something. It take a cold-hearted, savage SOB to do something like this. I don't know that much about Amish people. I've seen them hundreds of times. From what I've seen, they're very reserved. They're nonviolent. They don't bother nobody. They stay to themselves. They're religious. They don't deal with technology. That's why you see, like, a lot of times they still deal with a lot of things we would deem as primitive, like horse and buggy and stuff, but it's their choice and it works for them. Very rarely do you see crimes in the Amish community. And for an outsider to come into that and do that, not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. And like I told you, nowadays you can mind your business and the devil come to you. He knock right on your door. Sometimes force itself in, just like the case of this. Supposedly this guy was upset that, and he was trying to get his grandson back because these people adopted him. Okay, first thing is this. They got a court system for that, sir. Now, I don't know if the child lived with him before, because like some people were saying in some stories, depending on what reports you hear, he was living with them. He had custody of this child at one time, or somebody he was with, whoever the parent was, had custody of this child one time. And all of a sudden, he was adopted by these people. Either way, there's still ways of getting this child back, and I guess he didn't want to go down them avenues. I think he looked at these people as soft. He was, because they well-reserved and Amish people, he gonna run up there like gangbusters and bust up in the house and do what he need to do. First question with me is this. Why is the grandson adopted anyway? Why is he with these people? Who failed on your side to where this happened? And that's the thing. Nobody wants to take the blame. There's always a root cause or a root of any type of thing. Before evil or anything ensues, there's always a why, something happens. Instead of shooting this woman that was doing the right thing and doing, taking a part of herself and her family values, what they doing, what they about, and putting it on a strange child that she wants to just give a chance, that she wants to help her and her husband. Where somebody effed up on your side of the family that allowed these outsiders to be approved to take this child and have a better life that y'all couldn't provide. Now all of a sudden they're the enemy. This woman was 6 months pregnant. I'm sure he knew these people. Now, I'm not saying he was around them all the time, but he knew where they go. So evidently he done visited this kid before. You go up there, shoot this woman in the head at the door, and cut her throat to make sure she's dead. Guys, they said, damn, I think the screen just turned black. I'm sorry. It said her body was found in the living room of her home. Says she was laying there. It says she had cuts about her head, suffering cutting wounds to her head and her neck. Think about that. What type of hate do you have for somebody being nice to your grandchild? It wasn't like they was being mean to this kid. Me personally, I think it was an embarrassment, number one, at his age, that that the child got adopted, number one. And I think part of him feel like a failure for letting it happen or having it happen. And he don't like the embarrassment that is bringing those families. And he put the aggression against these people. He attacked that woman when her husband went home. She was found on the floor by her husband and the neighbor. The neighbor called the police. What's worse than that is there were 2 small children in the house when he did this. This woman's body was found in a pool of blood with children in the house. What's messing with that? What's topping that? This guy didn't care about nothing. He was hell-bent on going in there and doing what he got to do to get that kid out of there, like he was rescuing a prisoner of war from an internment camp. It's hard for me to do this video when I was looking at the news article and see the clothes hanging on the line. That reminded me when I was a kid. Remember people used to hang the clothes on the line and stuff? These people are doing what works for them. And the house is not dirty looking. It looked like it had structure. They had some type of, order in their life and structure and towards, being Amish or, whatever. And it's working for them. Why couldn't it work for your grandchild? I think another thing about this, guys, was he didn't want his kid to be Amish. Of course, he looked at them a certain way. That's just my opinion. Some people like that because it's a lot unknown about the Amish. And, a lot of people like, I want my kid in that. Like, people look at that sometimes as cultish. I don't know why they do. Because it's unknowns, a lot of unknowns with it. I can't have my son. You see what I'm saying? My grandson, all in all, it's messed up. And that's a vicious way to go. Vicious way. He did this woman, an act of cowardice. A lot of times we had problems and we went to, a crime is committed and people will say, they wonder why it happened. But there's also a why in that why, a smaller why. And that smaller why lines with him. And if he had answered that, we wouldn't have had this bigger one, this woman dead. Imagine that a husband, you're out there doing what you're supposed to do in the world. Built a whole house and a life for yourself. Thankful you found a life partner. You're doing good for somebody else. Taking in another child like it's yours, only to have a blast from the past, come and snatch this child or try to snatch the child while leaving a trail of destruction that shouldn't have to be. This guy right here, man, whatever they do to him, he deserves. No matter how extreme and stupid it is. I mean, he ain't gonna get nothing but jail time or something. That's not enough. Now you got a man here. I don't know what their structure is. The man here with children that he's trying to raise by himself without the woman being here. And I think probably she was a big contributing factor, motivating factor to adopting said child. And it cost her life. It cost her life. Sad. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Rebecca Sala, may she rest in peace. Heart and prayers go out to the family, man. Especially the husband to find his wife like that, man. That would devastate me. That would devastate me. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. This guy right here is a coward. Oh yeah, guys, and one more thing I forgot to add. The daughter speaking in defense of the father. Nothing wrong with that. She said she never saw this coming. She can't believe it was him. Can't believe his mistaken identity. I don't know. I don't think he would ever do this. Okay. It's ironic that you, ma'am, were adopted. He adopted this girl and raised her as his own. And she looks at him with a high level of respect, almost as her father. He did the right thing. What's wrong with these people doing that? Ain't that crazy? You adopted somebody. Nobody came and killed you. On her side of the family, out of their shame, but you go do that to somebody else? Man, the world is crazy. Just think about that. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.